able to do that, I feel free. I have that freedom because I'm ready for this complete great separation. I'm ready for this worldwide power outage. I am ready for us to activate our third strain of Ghost Jesus DEA. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for us to be out there, reversing back to original everything, being with nature, being with wildlife, being with our soul star family, being with the trees, being with oceans of water above, so as above, so below. I just can't wait for us to go into, the other multi dimensions. Like, man, oh man, we already doing it. But
We
when we are
already
actually
doing
able to
it.
do
That's
it, right?
what's amazing is what you're talking about. We already doing. So just imagine what this ascension is really about to be.
Right.
Because yeah, everything you talk about, we doing. Like, come on, we out here talking to trees and water and stuff up on here and stuff.
But to really do it freely without
hmm
metaverse, oh man, we're gonna be completely tapped in, y'all.
You know what, brother? I think we already separated, and that's
Right.
the amazing thing about it is I think you choose when you're ready to separate.
Mm-hmm.
And now when we deal with metaverse, we deal with it with an awakened eye and for a purpose. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And our purpose is we're going on there to share some knowledge, or you dealing with it because you need money for this food. You know what I'm saying? To provide for you, but we're not dealing with it for fulfillment. You understand what I'm saying? And at the same time, I think we're building up our own construct so we can totally separate and won't have to use it anymore. And
Right.
I think that's the beauty of this separation. Like everybody chose their time when they was ready to, you choose your time when you ready to say, look,
I've had
this is it
enough.
for me. I've had enough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to put the physical act to what the spirit is telling you, you got to put the two together, just like Donaldson said. You put
Mm-hmm.
the two together. And so a lot of us are now beginning to start to, we done woke up, we tired of this shit pretty much. And now
Right.
we just like, all right, what can I construct to get out of this situation? So now we using this metaverse to our advantage because, yeah, I might be going to work every day, but I'm using this with a purpose now. You understand? Not for fulfillment, just to get what I can get and get out. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would say that staying grounded right now,
Mm-hmm.
just staying grounded, staying patient, staying I'm like you, Unique. I'm ready for everything I'm ready for the flash. Every day I'm like, is it today? Is it tomorrow? Is it today? Is it tomorrow? So, I'm just happy to be creating again. I'm just excited to be creating. I'm excited to feel the energies out here, getting the download. So that's where I'm at right now.
I love.
Like self-love for me has been learning to say no and setting those boundaries, because I think that sometimes I could be very like, yeah, I could do this. Yeah, I could do that because I can. But
Mm-hmm.
learning to say no and preserving my energy for just things that I want to do is really self-love to me. And for me, that's kind of like just being myself. Like I love being myself. I
Mm-hmm.
love when somebody thinks that I'm super weird or that I'm like, oh, that's something a kid would do, or that's something like, you know, I just love when people point out like these discrepancies that kind of go against what they think is normal.
Right.
So that just lets me know that I'm really being able to fully express myself and use my throat chakra, and use my intelligence to just, get the message out to the people that really want to hear it. And yeah.
Let me add to that. When I initially started, it was also embracing my shadow self. That's really how I
Mm-hmm.
started loving myself. It's
Right.
because I was afraid of the dark side, that I was afraid of a part of me that was going to burn the whole planet down. It's when I started accepting that part of me, it was when I was like, oh, okay, like, hey, I'm pretty dope. You know what I mean? Like, also, just a hack, just to throw in there, I started writing down the compliments that people were giving me, the date, and who gave it to me, random people, just to like remind you of who you truly are, how magical you really is. You know what I mean? To
Right.
allow ourselves to grace. Like I think that has been
like aligning with Kat and Pash in particular, like I've learned recently, like through conversation and just self inquiry and things like that, that like I actually have a part. There's a part of me that's like is the part that I've been hiding from and running from and trying to suppress and been ashamed of this whole time. And it's like it's beautiful because the way that it really resonated and the way that I really internalized it was I brother the in a very down to earth conversation with a down to earth person. So and it was basically like, she was breaking it down to me like, you're a snake. Like, did you hear everything that you just said? Do you realize how you move? Like, and then I had to look at it and I actually have like attributes of a snake. Like I am a reptilian. Like I'm a reptile. Like, and for me to accept that means that I'm not shaming and beating up on myself because I'm famous for it. Like I actually get reprimanded a lot by people because I do that so often I don't even realize it. But now that I can realize those parts of me that I've been trying to, if anything, just ignore and act like that's not a part of me, I now I'm like, oh, I do move, and then that ties into what y'all are saying too about the self-love and how that's different from loving others per se. And it's like I have been trying to love people, and I'm giving away the love that I should be giving myself. And
Right.
that's because of how I've been taught. Love your enemies. You know how it goes. Take the slack.
Yeah.
Just turn the other cheek and all of this. And it's like, but wait a minute, where does my love come in? How does it even fit? How can both of them even, it's like you have to shut out everything else. You have to shut out everybody else and accept that selfishness is how you're going to accept yourself. Like, so I'm really excited about that because it's like the part of me that I've been feeling is so evil. It's like, it's not. Yes, I can accept that about myself. Like, I'm a snake. Like,
Shoot, I've been saying I'm an Omega Dragon for the longest time. I guess people just understanding what that means.
Right.
I say. and I
when
like
you
the dragon
understand.
part about that too. Go ahead.
Also being understanding that you're a creator and a destroyer. It's just that it's like, in Star Wars it says don't go into the darkness, when that's exactly where you need to go in order to truly find yourself, is in the darkness.
Right. Exactly.
That's where the most powerful energy lies. And that's when you pull that dark self into yourself and learn how to manipulate it and use it. Then you operating on both poles. You can go in between or you can put yourself neutral. Like, it's all about intent. It's not about good, bad, evil, none of that. It's about intent. And the
Exactly.
people who know how to tap into that energy, their intent is for this world to be this way. And so that's why it's this way, because they're using their energy for their intent. And so now it's time for us to shift it with our intent the way that we want it to go, which is a more spiritual path, which is of nature, which is organic. And that's all we're doing is just looking at two opposite poles of the same thing. Both are needed in the universe because everything operates on poles, positive and negative. But we just trying to balance this out. It's always going to be negative poles. It's always going to be positive ones. Once we shift the earth, it'll be probably another, unless we reach perfection. And I don't know, but that's what we're striving for this time. I do know we're never going to fall again. And my last note is on everything
My ancestors turned as many cheeks as they could. I ain't got another cheek left to turn for nobody, okay?
Exactly.